Next, we have Sophia Xu. She was raised in Redmond, Washington, I hear just shy of Seattle. She majored in biology and minored in chemistry at Stanford University, where, fun fact, she studied transmembrane solute transport, both in a structural and plant biochemical context. There should be a little foreshadowing right here. Plants. She is currently a graduate student, in Jing-Ke Weng's lab, over in the Whitehead, I believe. And when asked about what drew her into biology, she's a plant girl. She basically said, plants, they are so weird. And they can teach us everything from diabetes to cancer, and I thoroughly enjoy learning about them. And with that, Sophia.
By a show of hands, how many of you have ever been hungover? Okay, some of you. And how many of you have ever experienced Asian glow? Okay. And how many of you have ever considered curing these with a plant? So a decent number of you are familiar with the common effects of acetaldehyde, a toxic degradation product of ethanol. I've depicted acetaldehyde here as these red triangles. The good news is that we humans make an enzyme, ALDH2, depicted here as Pac-Man, which comes along and eats the red triangles and renders them non-toxic. But in many Asians, whose Pac-Man eats a little slower, and in a number of disease states, the persistence or even presence of these red triangles leads to a variety of negative outcomes, including prolonged hangover and exacerbation of disease. But what if it didn't have to be like this? Can we help Pac-Man out? Can we find him a power-up? My project explores an avenue suggested by traditional Asian medicine. Like Tu Youyou, who won the 2015 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for her work identifying the active ingredient in sweet wormwood, a traditional remedy for malaria, we seek to dissect a different traditional medicine. The flowers of the kudzu vine, yes, the same vine which is overgrowing much of the American South, are traditionally used to alleviate hangover. And we believe that this activity can be traced to a single molecule made in these flowers. So which specific molecule is it? We first need an experiment to test the effect of one molecule at a time on hangovers. But humans are complicated. We need to simplify. We've boiled this question down to the players I've previously introduced: acetaldehyde, depicted by the red triangles, which causes hangover, and the enzyme responsible for clearing it, ALDH2. So if we can find a kudzu flower-derived compound that accelerates the rate that Pac-Man eats these red triangles, this suggests it may be one of the compounds responsible. We acquired kudzu flower extract from our friendly neighborhood drug dealer, Jeff Bezos, and isolated a number of individual compounds. And I was very excited to find that several of these compounds can boost Pac-Man in the test tube. And now that we have an idea of what's happening in our simple model, we can add back complexity by studying the effect of this compound in cells, much like reinstating Pac-Man into his natural maze environment. So the next time you see a weed growing on the side of the road, take a second and think about how studying it could improve our understanding of human health. Thank you for your attention.